Alright there, my name's Ragtag, the greatest gutter tier gamer on the face of this earth, and welcome to the channel. We're going to be doing some Pathfinder gameplay today, guys, taking a little break from crypto, and we're going to be showing you some ranked. Don't worry about that, but first I must appease my ego and show you the unranked game that I played right before I moved into it. This was my warm-up, but the most important reason I'm showing you this is because I get completely carried in the ranked game. I'm not afraid to say it, guys, it happens. And also, if you are a long-time fan of the channel, a die-hard, so to speak, you may have noticed this image from my previous video, and stay tuned to the end, guys, and I've got something really exciting to show those of you who like anything that I do, whether it's Apex or other games. So landing into what I thought would be a hot zone, not because of the molten lava, but because action junkies tend to want to drop out of the ship as soon as possible, but it turned out to be colder than a cast iron toilet on the shady side of Epicenter, so I decided to take the Mastiff, something I haven't put much time into recently, and the reasons for that will become clear soon enough, but the trusty flatline would hopefully right any wrongs that I commit with the shotgun. Guessing that everyone else had headed to the capital city, I looted up as fast as I could, and then got the coveted vault key. And something that I love doing in this game is good old-fashioned course correcting with the map movements by ascending the balloon into the geyser and covering vast distances, but the trouble is that sometimes your teeny tiny dive trail is caught by the iron sights of your enemies, and this was the moment that I realised two things. Number one is that I'm a complete moron, and number two, I chose one of the most mobile legends in the game to rectify the problems caused by number one. Perfectly balanced, as all gutter tier things should be.
I am taking fire, friends. Who's ready to fly on a zipline? I am. Taking fire on the enemy.
Bomb boys shooting at me.
Reloading.
Throwing arc star.
Enemy down. Reload. More enemies down.
Singular.
Wraith took out an enemy.
Brilliant kill. Just brilliant.
Using grapple.
One enemy left, this should be easy. The Caustic did have a peacekeeper, it turned out, so if I decided to face him without healing, I could very well be meeting the same fate as Wraith. Okay, well, there you go. Went to the vault, got more golden goodness, and finally, one more cargo bot for a clean sweep of the bling bling. Helmet, armor, knockdown, and backpack, all gold. Now we headed towards the capital, and it suddenly dawned on me why nobody likes Epicenter. Not because of the cast iron toilet, but I think it needs a dark mode. Can someone just come and spray that ice a lovely shade of midnight blue, because it feels like my pupils are about to explode. 6 squads left already? I'd already missed out on so much of the action, which meant if anyone was still alive at this point, then they had outlasted a lot of enemies. And that increased their chances of being better than me. Well, face the right direction and just shoot at me and you're probably going to fall into that category, but hey, it looked like we were about to be in for a tough fight.
Shooting at me. They spotted me. I'm taking shots. Where to go here?
Grappling. Enemy down.
I had forgotten the ridiculous escape power of this legend and how meaningful the grapple was in terms of distance you could put between yourself and the enemy.
Heavy ammo. The enemies are shooting at me.
At this point, I found myself respecting the aim of my opponents and wondered how long we could actually keep up this pokey damage battle. But then Wraith was also given some thought for their staying power with a good old-fashioned shuriken to their face.
Singularity.
Didn't phase in time, and now the heavy ammo situation was becoming an absolute joke.
Contact with hostile.
I need heavy ammo.
They spotted me. I'm taking shots.
Oh no. There is an airstrike on our boat. The enemies are shooting at me. Recharging shields. I could use that.
Heavy ammo here.
we had the ring, our opponents would have to come to us. And so long as none of us did anything hasty, we might just force them into making a mistake. Yeah, well, that's not good.
I am taking fire, friends. Giving my shields a recharge.
Hostile close. Get shot. Shields recharging. Where's my back, pal? Me and you are down. Help.
Get ready, it's zipline time.
Might be a long shot and we might not even make it, but I had to try.
I got you, friend. Great, only 2 other squads remain. Grappling.
Recharging my shields.
Help him escape! Yeah, mate, I'm working on it. Funnily enough.
Reloading. Enemy taken down. Recharging shields.
Reloading. Enemy taken out. Shot at. Patching myself.
I am down.
Well, at least now I could say that I was suitably warmed up and that I was more or less hitting my shots, so I was 1000% ready to play ranked, which was just as well because our caustic wanted to land in the busiest place in the entire map, Fragment, but this was no problem because I was about to pick up the loadout of champions.
I have been down.
Loadout of champions, eh? Wielded by a pathetic loser who just missed every shot. Not even one bullet went into that lifeline. 0 damage! 3 or 4 minutes later, my teammates fought their way out bravely, they escaped and revived me. No sooner had I touched the ground though, and the vultures flew in to pick my flesh from washing machine parts from the circuit board. But every so often you get the kind of Wraith that you want on your team. The kind that uses their portal correctly.
Placing a portal. I set the portal.
Couldn't get in the door. Move out the way, Mirage, you torturous! Fine, I'll choke the humour out of you. I cannot decide if that mid-fight box looting was utter genius or the dumbest thing that I've done in a long, long time, but the conclusion is always the same, and that is that I simply don't care. What I did care about was the fact that I had landed myself 2 teammates who were Titan warriors, and they had more game sense in one of their empty shield cells than I had in my entire scrap heap of a body.
Independent variable added.
Hostile right here.
A solo octane going under the tunnel, eh? I smelled free RP. Well, robots, they don't smell anything, which is a shame, really, because if I did, perhaps I would have smelled something much more important. Yeah, a trap.
Malfunctioning.
How am I alive, you may ask? By doing the one thing 3 enemies wouldn't expect, of course. Zip back right up towards them.
Contact. Portal.
Gas trap.
Spotted.
Was that pesky octane again? Because if it was, he needed to die. And if it wasn't, he needed to die.
Reloading. Reloading. Last snipers down. One spawn closer to winning.
Subject spotted.
They spotted me. I'm taking shots.
My squad mates needed my help, so I tried to cover them from afar.
Fully running.
We'd done enough, so I did my internal charge. Forward! But at the same time, Wraith had an internal scream of their own. Back! And so back it was, for this was ranked after all, and dying right now would leave me much worse off than when I started this game.
Adding another gas trap.
Setting up a zipline.
Fast forwarding a little bit, Wraith wiped that squad. I was running out of energy ammo. Caustic and I had very little shield cells, and with 8 squads left, all of them were going to be easy to find now, with us being in round 3, and our first customers had been squeezed out of Fragment as things seemed to be closing towards Overlook, a place I had not seen an endgame in for quite a while.
Waiting. Enemy spotted. Far. Firing out subjects.
This looting disaster that you're looking at right now was me thinking I swapped out the Volt, but in actual fact I swapped out the Mastiff, even though my Volt had no energy ammo whatsoever. But we got lucky in the next death box, which is just as well because, well, pathetic losers need a little luck every so often. There was now only 5 squads left, moving into round 4, and this was about to become one of the most tense games I have ever played in Season 10.
Wraith already inside the subject. Who's ready to fly on a zipline? I am. Frag out.
Contact with hostile. Reloading. Enemy down.
Contact with target.
Enemy spotted.
Someone had a Kraber, and I needed to think very carefully about how much I was willing to peek at this point. But then Valkyrie's ultimate repositioned their squad, and we had to react quickly.
Hostile over there.
Hostile right here.
Look, guys, like I tried. I'm not a mountaineering Marvin. I'm a catapulty kind of Marvin.
Who's ready to fly on a zip?
Now round 4 was closing, and I was desperate not to throw this game any more than I already had.
Recharging shields. Administering medical aid.
Another squad attacking. Focus.
Caustic downed. I couldn't afford a single mistake if he was going to survive. This was the most important covering fire I would ever do in a ranked game.
Target spotted.
Going to train.
Incoming grenade.
We should go this way. I am taking fire, friend. Opening fire on the enemy. Only 2 enemy squads left.
Too risky to revive in case they push, but Caustic had the glorious gold knockdown shield. We were still in with a chance, but Wraith was separated.
My work. Healing my wounds.
I am taking fire, friend.
Enemy down. Void running.
My vision is clear.
Zipline deployed.
I still see everything. Travis. Gas trap deployed.
Shot.
Taking fire.
Patching myself up.
In progress.
Lucky us.
Taking fire. Reloading.
The enemies are shooting.
Final round, and I have 1 elimination. Yet this feels like the most life or death game, more than the ones where I would get like 3,000 damage in 10 eliminations.
Getting shot at. The ring isn't very far.
Need to recharge my shields.
In progress.
Heads up. The ring's moving.
Adding another gas trap. Firing. Getting shot at. Reloading. Noxious gas deployed. Administering the Phoenix kit.
Reloading. Enemy taken this time.
So there you go, thoroughly and utterly carried by my teammates, but we had a great game. I really enjoyed that one. Now listen guys, this is the most important thing I've got to announce for you. I've been keeping a low secret, but I've actually made another channel. I'm going to leave a link in the description for it, but it is called Royally Ragtag, and it is going to be all the games that are not Apex Legends, but I'm still going to do Tales and things like that with Let's Play and commentary and all that sort of stuff. Like just really, really high effort editing, but things that I know wouldn't do well on the algorithm. So there's going to be Hitman, Far Cry 6, Assassin's Creed, GTA roleplay stuff, and yeah, so go and subscribe if that is the kind of thing you'd like to see. I don't need your pity subs. If you're not going to watch it, don't bother. Only if you're interested, you know, go and check it out. And yeah, that's going to do it for now. Take it easy, catch you in the next one later. Just dive in. Show me your best technique, Jason.